Now we're gonna go over to, I might need a content warning for violence on this one. Truth is light. Welcome. Thank you for being a freaking follower. Truth is light. So this is one of those religious types that you probably want to stay away from. Christian preacher says that if God tells you to kill somebody, you should probably do it. Oh, weird.
Do you think of people that commit murder and then state, God told me to do it? Well, I'm going to say something controversial that will absolutely delight atheists because they like to take, not all atheists, some. Well,
sir, here I am. You got me. The headline got me. What you got to say? Lay it on me, preacher boy.
Internet atheists like to take things out of context and use it to make me look bad. I don't care.
Oh, I'm going to play the whole thing.
Not like anything changed. If anything, I'm just glad people like hate follow me. Like, oh, at least that's there. You know, maybe they're hearing the gospel. Maybe God willing, there's like some truth of Christ that will eke through there, you know? So I'm going to say something here. If God really told them to do it, then they were right. If God didn't tell them to do it, then they were wrong.
Well, how do I take you out of context on that one, sir?
Murderer who's blaming God, which just makes it worse. God does have a right to tell. Now let me give an analogy that might help people swallow this better, because I feel the rejection that people would have to this naturally. Let's say that America gets involved in a just war, right? Or let's not even do that. Let's just say that you have a.
I mean, that's a crazy hypothetical. Like, when have we gotten involved in a just war, sir? You might be able to make an argument for World War II with me, but like, the thing I'm going to argue back is like, we kind of funded the Nazis. The American right wing kind of funded the Nazis. So, kind of a wash on that one, isn't it? What just war are we talking about here?
A police officer who is getting involved in some kind of like horrible school shooting type thing, right? And he gets permission from the government and from the local police department and all that when he sees a person on campus with a gun, he just opens fire.
Okay, that's not murder. Okay, murder is a very specific definition. It means the unlawful taking of a life. The reason I know that off the top of my head is I had to say it to so many pro-lifers. Because like, they're like, abortion is murder. And like, no, technically that's a legal term. It is not murder 100%. Like, murder is the unlawful taking of a life. You have to be found guilty in a court of law of murder. Taking a life of a cop in a school shooting situation, supposedly that is a lawful taking of a life. It's not murder. However, I mean, we see cops murder people all the time. And in school shooting situations, we see them not do jack all. So your hypothetical is real bullshit over here.
And so he shoots them. And then someone's like, how dare you shoot that person? And he goes, well, like, the government told me to. There's an element of this that really is the facts. Like, the government actually just gave him a badge and a gun and approved him and gave him policies that he's supposed to operate by. And so in a sense, the government just told him to. And that is an actual defense. Like, if that wasn't in place, then you'd have
Unfortunately, once again, like, I'm getting into technicalities here. Like, the government has told cops that they have no duty to protect anybody out here, first of all. Like, their discretion to shoot somebody is completely on them, it seems. And very rarely do we get justice when they do murder people. I mean, we saw that in the story that we covered at the top of the show, the top of the news portion of the show, where they shot the kid that was just sitting there eating a burger in his car. They charged him! They charged him, motherfucker! But also, this is not the point. He's trying to make a ass backwards analogy to justify murder, he's not doing a good job. And the thing that he said earlier about if God legitimately told somebody to kill somebody, that is justifiable. That makes you batshit crazy and fucking dangerous, dude. Fuck off. Amen. If some of you are new here, I'll go ahead and sum up my political leanings for you. I try to do this ever so often for the new people. I would give anything in the world to piss in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole. Give me that eye pussy. No. Slap that hooch ass. Thank you for being here. And like, no, voting for, your vote is strategic. And I hate having to keep going over this. If people want to start third parties at like the local level, I'm totally down with that. But when we're talking about like the congressional, the federal level, Senate, and presidential, like the only hope we've got is to take over the Democratic Party. But you can't just expect to vote once if you lean towards a leftist position. Perhaps you don't lean towards a leftist position. Perhaps you are somebody that maybe once identified with the Democrats and feel that they are going too far left, and you identify more with the Republican position. And if so, fuck you then. Like, you don't tell us what to do with our party. Right in that eye pussy. Would you like to talk about it? Slap that Hugh ass. I have not had the phone lines open. Cognitive mess of a president?
Come on, man.
Perhaps you just joined us here on the show, but like I covered the Biden gaffe, but also I listened to another couple minutes of that speech, and he spoke very eloquently about unions. So perhaps you should watch the entire show. Because I made multiple jokes about Biden. Earlier in the debate, I was like, I got 2 words for you. Peter fucking Thiel. Dude, if you think Democrats are socialists, then like, nobody should listen to you about anything. If you think Joe Biden, who once upon a time was called the senator from MBNA, if you're too young to know what MBNA was, it was a credit card company that was based in Delaware. He was bought and paid for by the credit card companies and Wall Street. A lot of financial institutions are located in Delaware, specifically because of the policies that Joe Biden has instigated. Perhaps you don't know what socialist means, but if you're bought and paid for by the credit card companies and Wall Street, you are the antithesis of a socialist. So learn what fucking words mean before you go around using them. It's just further proof that right-wingers are goddamn morons. Welcome to the Troll Patrol. Thank you for being here. Yeah, we totally take punches at Biden when it's warranted, and we cheer Biden on when it's deserved. Even the other day when I was giving him props on the pardons of federal marijuana possession, I brought up that he was one of the authors of the crime bill. We always put things in perspective here on this show. I can't do that voice. I wanted to do the Apu voice. I love Apu. I love old school Simpsons, but I understand. You got to change with the times. You got to cave to the woke moralists.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.